Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving deep into something incredibly important. 12 things women, especially older women, should never do for a man if they truly want respect, love, and a strong, lasting relationship. This message isn't about blaming anyone or making anyone feel bad. It's about helping you protect your heart, your value, and your emotional energy. Because sometimes the very things we do to try to keep love end up pushing it away. I understand. Life has probably taught you to give, to fix, to love deeply and endlessly. You've probably spent years taking care of your family, your kids, your partner, often putting yourself last. That kind of love is beautiful, but if you're not careful, it becomes a habit that empties you out. Sometimes women try so hard to make it work that they lose themselves in the process. And you know what happens then? That very love, that effort, starts to be taken for granted. Many older women keep repeating these patterns, not because they're weak or foolish, but because they've been conditioned to believe that love means sacrifice. That if you give more, he'll see it, appreciate it, and love you back harder. But in reality, that's not how it works. A 2020 study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that overgiving, or what they called excessive caregiving, usually creates an imbalance. One person ends up emotionally tired, while the other slowly loses attraction and even respect. You start to feel empty, tired, invisible. You give and give, hoping it will build something solid, but instead it chips away at your self-worth. That's not love. That's a slow erosion of your spirit. So today we're talking about what to stop doing, not because it makes you bad, but because you deserve better. If you continue these behaviors, the cost is high. You'll start to feel unimportant, like your needs don't matter. Your partner may emotionally pull away without even realizing it. You may lose sight of who you are, your dreams, your light, your magic. And in his eyes, over time, you stop being a partner and start feeling more like a background character in his story. And you're not meant to live like that. So let's begin with the most common one. Don't change who you are to please him. Please don't twist yourself just to become what you think he wants. You are not meant to shrink. Don't give up your interests, your hobbies, your style, or your beliefs to fit into his world. Because the truth is, the right man isn't looking for a mirror of himself. He's drawn to a woman who stands on her own, who brings her own colors into the picture. A 2019 article from Psychology Today highlighted that real attraction is built on authenticity. When you try to be someone else, you lose the core of what made you lovable to begin with. And in time, you feel resentful because you're living a version of life that doesn't feel like yours. Another big one? Stop saying sorry all the time. It may sound small, but it adds up. Women, especially older ones, often say sorry when they didn't do anything wrong, just to keep the peace, to avoid conflict, or because they don't want to seem difficult. But here's the thing. When you over-apologize, it can send a message that you believe you're always at fault. A 2018 report from Harvard Business Review showed that women apologize 3 times more than men in both personal and professional spaces. That constant apologizing chips away at how people see your confidence, and more importantly, how you see yourself. It's okay to stand in your truth without always feeling the need to say, now let's talk about trying to fix his problems. I know it's tempting. You love him, you want to help, you want to make his life easier. Maybe he's struggling with work or money or something in his family. But here's the danger. When you start stepping in to solve everything, you shift from being his partner to being his mother. And that shift kills attraction. A 2021 study in couple and family psychology showed that when one partner feels overly managed or fixed, they often start emotionally withdrawing. Helping him is kind. Fixing everything for him is damaging. Let him handle his challenges. Let him grow through them. Be supportive, not controlling. Another trap? Giving up your own goals to support his. It might seem noble at first. Maybe you pause your career, stop painting, stop traveling, skip your social time. Also, he feels supported. But over time, this can eat away at your happiness. A 2020 report by the American Psychological Association confirmed that personal fulfillment is deeply tied to relationship happiness. When you keep your spark alive, your goals, your joy, it adds life to the relationship. Men are deeply drawn to women who are passionate about something. So don't stop living just because you're loving. Being constantly available is also something to rethink. Always picking up the phone, dropping your plans for him, saying yes every single time he calls. It sounds sweet, but in the long run, it creates imbalance. It says you have no life outside him. Studies from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships reveal that healthy boundaries and time apart actually increase desire and respect in long-term relationships. You don't need to be available 24/7 to be loved. In fact, a little space creates more curiosity, more excitement, and deeper appreciation. Now, let's be honest about red flags. Ignoring them doesn't make them disappear. Maybe he's always canceling plans, or he avoids deep conversations, or he makes subtle jabs that leave you feeling small. These aren't small things. The National Domestic Violence Hotline and countless therapists agree, catching toxic patterns early can prevent serious heartache later. Don't silence that inner voice just to keep the relationship going. Your gut knows, and it deserves to be listened to. Sometimes women ignore red flags, not because they don't see them, but because they hope love will change him, that patience will turn him into someone better, that if you just give more, he'll finally step up. But the truth is, love should never make you suffer. A real partner sees you, hears you, values your emotional safety. If you're constantly excusing his bad behavior, you're teaching him it's okay to hurt you. This is just the beginning. But if you really want to create a love that honors you, that lifts you, that gives as much as it takes, these changes aren't just helpful, they're necessary. You are not asking for too much by wanting to be respected. You are not too emotional for needing affection. You are not too much for wanting consistency, honesty, effort. You've spent enough years putting yourself last. It's time to remember who you are, to protect your light, to lead with dignity, not desperation. Because when you love yourself like that, the world, including the right man, has no choice but to love you back in the same way. Number 7, don't feel the need to explain every emotion you have. A lot of older women, especially those who deeply care, fall into the habit of justifying how they feel. Maybe it's because they don't want to be misunderstood, or they're trying to avoid a disagreement, or they think if they just explain well enough, the other person will understand. But what actually happens is, when you start over-explaining, it weakens the impact of what you're saying. It can make your words feel unsure, like you're second-guessing yourself. The truth is, confidence doesn't need an essay. A 2019 study in the Emotion Journal found that when people express their feelings clearly and directly, without too much build-up or defense, it leads to stronger emotional understanding and deeper connection. You don't need to wrap your feelings in layers of disclaimers. You can just say, "That hurt me," or "I need space," or "I want to feel more seen." That kind of clarity, it speaks volumes. So next time you feel something deeply, don't walk in circles around it. Trust that what you feel matters, and it doesn't need decoration to be valid. Number 8, stop trying to earn love by spending money or doing endless favors. It's understandable. When we really like someone, we want to do things for them. Maybe you're always buying gifts, paying for dinners, solving his problems, or constantly offering help just to feel close or noticed. But love that grows from gifts or favors doesn't last. It starts feeling more like a transaction than a bond. A 2020 survey by Match.com revealed something powerful. Emotional closeness, mutual respect, and real connection were far more important to lasting attraction than material offerings. Yes, a thoughtful gift can warm someone's heart, but if that's the main thread holding things together, it won't hold for long. Men remember how you make them feel, not what you handed them. So instead of trying to buy your place in someone's heart, build it by being emotionally present, by sharing laughter, deep conversation, quiet understanding. Let your energy be the gift. Let your honesty be what he treasures. Number 9, don't try to hide your age or your life story. Many older women feel pressure to look younger, act younger, or downplay the chapters they've lived. Maybe you've been told that youth is everything, but the truth? Confidence in your age is magnetic. Your past, your scars, your stories, they're not things to hide. They're proof that you've lived, loved, learned, and grown. A 2017 survey by the American Association of Retired Persons found that many men are drawn to women who embrace their age and experiences with pride. Why? Because it shows maturity. It shows you're not pretending, you're not afraid of your truth. That kind of openness is rare and deeply attractive. When you stop trying to be someone younger or smaller, and instead stand firmly in the woman you've become, you don't just gain respect, you become unforgettable. So, wear your years like jewelry. Speak your truth without shrinking it. Own your story. That's where your beauty lives. Number 10, stop trying to keep everyone happy all the time, especially him. The habit of people-pleasing can feel like a survival skill. Maybe you've spent years saying yes when you wanted to say no, putting others first, staying quiet to keep the peace. But that kind of emotional labor is draining. It costs you your well-being. A 2018 review in Clinical Psychology Review showed that people who constantly put others ahead of themselves experience more anxiety, more stress, and more emotional exhaustion. You don't have to be everything for everyone, especially not at the expense of yourself. You can care without overgiving. You can love without losing your voice. In a healthy relationship, there's a natural flow of giving and receiving. It's not one-sided. So don't say yes when your heart is screaming no. Don't cancel your needs to fit his. Say what you want. Take your time. Draw the line. You're not difficult for having needs. You're human. Number 11, don't let the fear of being alone make your decisions for you. This fear is quiet but powerful. It can sneak in and convince you that any relationship is better than no relationship, even if that relationship makes you feel small, hurt, or unseen. But being alone isn't a punishment. It's a space for healing, for reflection, for rediscovery. There's a huge difference between being alone and being lonely. The Journal of Social Psychology in 2020 shared findings that people who are comfortable with their own company, who know their worth without needing constant validation, end up forming healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Why? Because they're not coming from desperation, they're coming from fullness. When you like who you are, you attract people who like you for real. So if you've been staying with someone just to avoid the silence, know this: silence isn't your enemy. Sometimes it's the sound of your self-worth returning. Number 12, stop believing you can change him. This one's tough. A lot of women see the good in men even when those men are emotionally unavailable, inconsistent, or dismissive. Maybe you think, If I just love him better, he'll soften. Or, he's going through a lot, he'll come around. But the hard truth is, people don't change unless they want to. A 2019 study from the Journal of Marriage and Family showed that while small adjustments are common, deep personality shifts, like someone becoming more loving, more respectful, more emotionally present, are rare without serious internal motivation. Hoping someone will become the version of themselves you need is often a way to delay the truth. You deserve to be with someone who already meets you where you are, not someone who makes you wait and ache for potential. Love isn't a renovation project, it's a meeting place. If he can't meet you there, it's okay to walk away. Now, you might be wondering, what do I do if I stop doing these 12 things? If I stop chasing, pleasing, explaining, fixing, what's left? What should I focus on? Here's what's left: authenticity, realness, peace. You show up as yourself, not a watered down version. You say what you mean. You live your life with your own joy and passions, not revolving around his. You keep your hobbies, your friends, your career. You speak honestly. You set your boundaries without guilt. You don't ignore red flags. You don't second guess your instincts. You love yourself deeply. You enjoy your own company. You seek someone who values you completely, not someone who only sticks around when you're doing something for them. This isn't just feel-good advice. It's real, and it works. Let me give you a simple, powerful story. A woman named Susan, 52 years old, went to a relationship coach feeling drained. Her partner didn't appreciate her. She was constantly bending, sacrificing, doing more than her share, canceling her weekends, shelving her goals, all to keep him happy. But nothing changed. She finally got tired. Not just tired of him, but tired of losing herself. So she began to change. Not to become someone else, but to return to who she was. She started painting again, something she'd given up. She reconnected with old friends. She set boundaries. She stopped over-explaining, stopped fixing, and started simply showing up. The shift didn't go unnoticed. Her partner began to listen more. He respected her more. Their relationship improved, not because she molded herself into someone better, but because she finally became loyal to herself. And if the relationship hadn't improved, she would have been okay, because now she knew her worth. That's the power of this work. This isn't just Susan's journey, it's the story of countless women who chose themselves, who stopped performing and started living, who stopped begging and started blooming. So if you've been doing any of these 12 things in the hope of being loved, please hear this. You don't need to do more, be less, or change who you are to be loved properly. You only need to love yourself enough to stop doing what drains you. Respect yourself first. Set your boundaries. Let your silence speak when your words have been wasted. When you stand in your truth, you don't just change your relationships, you change your life. You deserve a partner who cherishes you, not for what you do for him, but for who you are. Never forget that. If this message helped you in any way, please like, share, and subscribe. Your self-worth is not a question mark, it's a full sentence. And if no one has told you this lately, let me say it clearly. You don't have to chase love. You don't have to shrink to fit into someone's life. The right person won't need you to explain your worth. They'll feel it the moment you walk into the room. That kind of love starts with how you treat yourself, the way you speak to yourself when no one's watching, the way you choose peace over chaos, the way you walk away from what doesn't see you clearly. These aren't just actions. They're acts of self-respect, and that respect becomes your energy. It becomes your presence. People notice it even if they don't know how to describe it. Some might test your boundaries when they realize you've found your strength. That's okay. Don't be afraid to disappoint people who benefited from your silence. your giving, your self-sacrifice. Let them be uncomfortable. You don't owe anyone your peace. You owe it to yourself to be free from patterns that keep you stuck in cycles of doing too much and receiving too little. This journey isn't about becoming harder, it's about becoming clearer, softer with yourself, stronger with your standards. If a man truly values you, he'll respect your no. He'll honor your time. He won't expect you to do the emotional heavy lifting in the relationship. He'll show up with the same effort, the same heart. That's what a real partnership looks like. Two whole people choosing each other not out of fear or need, but out of genuine love and admiration. You don't need to teach a grown man how to love. You just need to recognize when someone already knows how. So stop looking for potential and start looking for presence. Stop giving all your energy to someone who drains you and start investing it back into yourself. That version of you, the one who no longer explains too much, no longer overextends, no longer begs to be seen. She's powerful, she's grounded, she walks into a room and doesn't need to speak to be felt. That's who you've been all along. You just had to stop dimming her. Let every heartbreak you've survived remind you of your resilience. Let every time you've stayed too long be a lesson, not a life sentence. And let this be the chapter where you choose you, not out of bitterness, not out of revenge, but because peace feels better than pleasing, and because true love, the kind that sees you and stays, will only arrive when you've made room for it by letting go of what never deserved you in the first place. It's not too late to start over. It's not too late to ask for more. It's not too late to say, this isn't enough, and walk away. You don't have to keep giving chances to someone who keeps showing you who they are. Believe them the first time, and believe in yourself even more.